Here's Johnny. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Get to the chopper! Say hello to my little friend!
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
This is Sparta!
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
News.
Yeah.
News. What's news?
Miscast news?
Miscast.
News on miscast.
Miscast
News.
You snooze, you news. What?
Or something like that.
You snooze, you news.
Welcome to Miscast News.
Welcome to Miscast News.
Welcome to Miscast News.
It's actually episode 2, so yeah.
It's news to us.
It's news.
It might be news to you, but this is our first news episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
news.
It's our first news episode.
This is news to you because it's news.
It's not news because
It's new news.
News?
New. It might be new to some of them.
Well, it's the episode 2 would be the second news?
It's the second news.
No.
But this is our first news.
the first news.
This is our new
first news
brand
show.
new news show.
Brand new news.
Brand new news.
All right. Welcome to Miscast, guys. This is our second episode, man. Can you believe it?
It's
Second
as if
episode.
we've been doing this for years.
Yeah, it does, actually.
It's all
It does.
it's all so natural now.
Yeah,
you know?
we're good.
I'm William. JJ. Greg. All right. Let's
Our
get
first
right
news,
into it.
second episode, first news program.
If we say news one more time, I might throw up.
That's new to me.
It's
That's news to me.
Family Guy.
News.
Some of it's new anyway.
All right. So I'd like to talk about stuff that maybe it's old news.
But it's very interesting. So this is our first
But it
episode.
could be some news to other people.
Yeah,
Right.
it could be new news to
So this is
them.
our first news episode. We're going to talk about the stuff recently that we find really interesting.
Yes.
And, you know.
All right. Well, let's kick it off with something that this guy has no idea about, and that's Clone Wars.
Why are you putting me out there?
I have to.
I've never seen the Clone Wars. I heard about it one time.
How can you even be on this panel, bro?
Somebody talked about it one day, and I was like, okay, let me check it out. I tried watching it. It seemed very infantile to me. It was kind of like a weird animation. The heads were really big. They were just a bunch of bobbleheads.
That did
Star
have
Wars. So I bailed on it. But apparently, other people like it.
It took me a while to get into it. When I first started watching it, I had the same reaction. When it first came out, I was like, this is very childish. It's very kiddie. And then a couple years later, I went back to it and started binging it. And I was like, pretty interesting. It's good storylines. Dave Filoni really did a good job.
What's cool about it?
I think you're correct on everything that you just said. When it first came out, it was kidsy. Like George Lucas and Dave Filoni, he took Dave Filoni under his wing at that time and like shape him into the next Lucas.
Okay.
And I think what happened in the beginning is he did want to aim that towards kids. I mean, it was a cartoon, but I think Filoni's influence came into it and started making it way more dynamic, way more adult. And that's when people, like, if you go through the first season after, like, a few episodes, you can see there's a shift.
When did it premiere? Do you know what
The
year?
movie.
When was the movie?
Oh, man.
04?
Right after
06?
Right after Revenge of the Sith.
Right after that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you're trying to tell me is that George Lucas came up with something.
He came up with Clone Wars. He wanted to do the cartoon.
And then another director came and then took his ideas and made it better?
He took this guy, Dave Filoni, under his wing and sculpted him. Like, Dave Filoni, aside from everybody, I mean, except for like maybe Spielberg, knows more about Lucas's vision in Star Wars than anybody. He's literally...
Well, Spielberg doesn't have anything to do with Star Wars.
He's literally Lucas's... Well,
bitch?
Spielberg and Lucas are
Filoni's
best buds.
Lucas's bitch is what you're trying to tell us.
He's like his Padawan learner.
Okay,
So-
that's a nicer way of
That's a
saying it.
much nicer way.
That's why people are always like, Kathleen Kennedy should be running the show. It should be Dave Filoni. But to your point, you think he's a little bit too childish and he doesn't have a big enough command to do a studio-based project.
Well,
like that.
I did that. Now there's a push among fans to say, hey, Dave Filoni should be directing a actual live-action Star Wars movie, or much like Rian Johnson is getting his own trilogy.
Which shouldn't happen.
Which, yeah, that's debatable.
It's unfortunate.
Apparently that's debatable. Or to give Dave Filoni his own trilogy, too. So I would be interested to see what he would do with a more adult, with a live-action medium. as opposed to the cartoons, which are geared towards it airs on Disney XD, so it is geared towards kids.
So here's the caveat,
Rebels,
guys.
anyway, was on Disney XD.
So here's the thing. So Disney's starting a new streaming service. We'll get into that a little bit later.
So they need content.
This Clone Wars series is going to be on that streaming service, and exclusive to that, and not on XD anymore.
Right.
So that kid element is going bye-bye.
Well, Rebels was on XD. Was Clone Wars ever on XD?
Clone Wars was on.
I believe
it was on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
And then it went to Netflix.
Now it's on Netflix, right? Because they picked up after season 4.
So what you're telling me is that now I'm paying for Amazon, I'm paying for Hulu, I'm paying for Netflix, and now I gotta pay for Disney?
Therein lies the rub.
We'll get to that. That's a different story. But Clone Wars on it as a revival, I think, there's a huge divide right now in the Disney fan base. It's bad. It's so bad. People are calling it toxic, racist, misogyny, all that crap.
Ooh, where is that coming from? That's the first.
That's from the Ryan Johnson Star Wars.
A bunch of the fan base because poor Kelly Marie Tran.
Yeah, her character was shit. I'm sorry, she was a bad character. She had no point to be in that movie. There were scenes in that movie that you could jettison.
Yeah, but she didn't deserve the hate.
Oh, absolutely not. No. I don't deserve the hate. I don't condone.
She was just doing her best.
As a person, I don't think anybody deserves any hate.
Right.
As a character, attack the character, because that's what sucks. The character sucks, not the person. I think that this is Disney's way of giving it to the fans, like saying, "Look, we understand that you have a grievance. We want to close up Clone Wars. Everybody was a fan of Clone Wars. I think it's going to bring the fan base back together."
It just ended prematurely, so people
they're going to finish it out. And it's supposed to lead right into like Revenge of the Sith. So
Revenge of the Sith, one of the best movies, prequels.
Really? Oh yeah, the prequels for sure.
On the agenda.
Head right into James Gunn.
Yeah.
Because you can't talk about news without talking about
this was
James
huge.
Gunn.
He said some jokes on the internet that some
10
people
years old.
did not find funny 10 years later.
They were 10 years ago. He was a grown man when he said them, but they were very juvenile remarks.
In the 90s was very free. That was in the 90s.
No,
I feel like
10 years ago.
It was 2000s. Yeah, 2000s.
2008.
It was a wild
2008
time.
to 2011.
It was a wild time.
Way back
where the comedy was just like a spectrum of saying whatever you wanted and nobody
well, let's put it this way. YouTube was brand new and everybody was trying to one-up everybody else with like cool stuff. And he actually made his bones doing YouTube videos.
Yeah, it would be what was the name of the show they did?
Yeah, he had a
porn show.
Some kind of porn thing.
Yeah, well, it had porn in the title, but it wasn't a porno show.
Yeah, it was very sexualized, but complete comedy. Like,
yeah, I don't even think it was sexualized. I think it was just
the title.
Right. But I felt like his jokes were something that a middle schooler might say. He fancied himself a provocateur at that point. Sure. He even said so. He came out and said, "I'm not the same person I was before. They were just dumb jokes."
Yeah,
and it seems like on a very different level than some of the other things that you heard celebrities getting in trouble for, where they're talking about, where they are talking about assault and rape and these sorts of things, but in a more serious way. Right. More of a tone deaf.
Well, they're serious. I think that's the difference.
But I think his jokes are more like tongue in cheek. Everybody loves James Gunn. The Guardians of the Galaxy movies are super fun. Everybody loves watching it. Nobody wants somebody else to take over the reins. I mean, it would just completely change.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah. Oh well, if Taika took over, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, because Ragnarok kicked ass.
Yeah, but I think
he's busy shooting Jojo Rabbit right now.
Yeah, but I mean, look. These are jokes that were done 10 years ago.
Disney
were they in poor taste? Yeah, but
Yeah, but
who hasn't at this point said something
But people should not be fired for what they were 10 years ago.
It is Disney.
Social media is going to make it that way because everything's recorded now.
Right. Keep in mind, the only reason anybody even knows about these tweets is because this guy decided to unearth them. A guy who he himself has made even worse type jokes. So
yep.
Honestly, and he's even said that all you have to do to destroy someone is to make the accusation on social media,
right.
And that it's totally what happened. He did, and Disney fired Gunn immediately.
Right.
And Disney knew about those tweets before they hired him for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Did they?
Yeah.
Was he on Ambien while
Roseanne's pretty pissed off that everybody's rallying behind Gunn and not her. So,
well, it was they seemed like very different animals to me.
Yeah, because she was serious.
She came out with some really racist things, and that that goes into your heart.
There was very little humor in her messages.
Him making dumb jokes about boys touching his pee-pee or whatever it was. Then it's.
I mean, one thing was about. I mean, he was watching the movie Expendables and wanted to rape the man that was sitting next to him because he was so turned on by the Expendables. I mean, that's pretty crazy,
Yeah, it's kind of it's odd. It's a little off.
Because I saw the Expendables too. Well, I saw all the Expendables movie in the theater, and I never felt that way.
I would hope not.
Yeah, no, but I'm sure some people did. I mean, there were a lot of muscular, healthy young men in those movies. Well, some of them
they were just dumb.
Not very young.
They seemed like very dumb.
The third
jokes,
one.
Sylvester was very leathery.
He's just straight leather now. I mean, but dude,
some people are really into leather.
Whatever floats your boat. Like I said before, it's 2018. So, I think that he should be rehired personally. I don't think people should be held accountable for what they say.
The thing is, it is
joke-wise.
It is Disney. Disney's a different animal when it comes to this sort of thing.
Well, Disney's
very, very protective of
their Disney, I think, is well beyond animal. Disney is borderline on a monopoly now because they have such a brutal percentage of all the content that's coming 60%. Out now.
Well, now and now, not to step on you, I'm sorry, but this caused Ryan Johnson to go back and delete all of his
10 years of tweets.
10 years of tweets and Instagram posts too, I think. I'm not sure.
Lots of celebrities are now going back and deleting. But let me tell you something, celebrities. It's on the internet. It's there forever. I'm sorry.
Somebody's got
you can't delete it.
It's ink, not pencil.
It's done. Exactly. You're done. If you said something 10 years ago now, you can get in trouble for it. And that's just the world we live in now, and it sucks.
10 years from now, we're going to be prosecuted for some of the things that we're saying right now.
Now that we're doing this.
That's probably true, actually. Now you think about it.
You don't know.
Now that we're doing this, we might want to go back and check our own,
If it's there and you want to kill me on it, then kill me on it. I mean, I am who I am, and everybody evolves and changes. That's
a good thing about this is that we can't really fire ourselves.
No, only the fans can fire us. We even have any yet. So.
You could be our first fan. Just like and subscribe.
The first like is our first fan, and our first subscriber we will announce on the air.
I'll send you a private message and tell you something very special about you.
Ooh. Now that could get you in trouble.
And I'll tell you something very special about me.
And it involves peanut butter.
Which you don't want to know. But you're going to get to know it, so.
Yeah, you do want to know. All right, let's move on.
All right. So what else we got?
So Disney rehired James Gunn as bullcrap. Anyways, the death of John Schnepp, boyos.
John Schnepp. Shout out to our friends at Collider. But John Schnepp was
seriously bad.
I don't know who that is.
Death of Superman director.
Death of Superman Lives. And he did some stuff for Adult Swim.
Metalocalypse. He did a bunch of stuff.
Okay, I like that show.
When we were doing the Comic-Con, he was that big guy with crazy hair that was taller than you walking around. He was super cool.
We saw him at Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like...
And he's dead now?
He died last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
It's a shame, man.
So, sorry you're just hearing about this now, but,
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it was a real bummer. Apparently it went south really quick. So our condolences to John Schnepp and his family and all of his loved ones.
Hey, man, sweaties. All the sweaties out there, that's us. We're sweaties.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're...
I learned that term from John Schnepp.
So. Yeah, he was the chief sweaty apparently over at Collider. So
we love you, John.
Yeah,
more power to you, your family.
You're sweating up and having on me.
Hey, pour one out.
Yeah, here we go.
If it wasn't on William's floor,
can we pour beer on your floor?
If you pour it on my floor,
this is for you, John.
No.
All right, fine, but I'll ingest it.
We pour it in my toilet though later.
All right.
Promise.
Comic-Con San Diego. They dropped a lot of stuff, man.
Yes. Yeah, which trailers?
We got Shazam. What do you think about Shazam? Because I think that's
I thought it was very funny. I think that's kind of what we need. Every time there's a humorous...
That's what DC needs.
Yeah, every time there's a humorous superhero out there, there's been a couple. I'm all for it. I think one thing that the Dark Knight taught us was that it's cool when you go dark, but if you go dark for too long, then it becomes very morose and not fun at all.
Yeah.
So
I'm a big fan of the darkness, but I gotta say that DCU has been so all over the place. I don't think they had their darkness in line. Like after
it was very dark. Each of the movies are very dark visually,
but
you can barely tell what was happening. And
right. And I think that this, after all the bad press and then the Justice League and all this stuff, I think it's just so good to see a light.
Yeah, they need something lighter. They need something fun.
Something that sets the tone.
I was kind of not sold on what's the actor's name playing Shazam. Look that up. It's slipping my mind right now. But I was very on the fence about him originally. But seeing the trailer, I think he nailed the tone. He's supposed to be. It's like if the movie Big were about superheroes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
that's what Billy is all about.
He plays a big kid, and it looked like he plays it very well.
Hey, JJ.
Yeah.
Did you know that Shazam's real name is Captain Marvel?
No, I did not. Is he related to Miss Marvel?
We were just talking about Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel?
It's Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel, but Marvel and DC. Oh my gosh, I'm so confused.
They can't do that. That's why they can't say Marvel.
What branch of the military is Captain Marvel in?
I guess he would be the Boy Scouts because
the Green Lantern Corps.
You mean which Captain Marvel are we talking about?
I don't know.
Shazam?
So many Marvels.
I know.
It's like
news.
I'm marveling at this confusion.
It's the news.
What was the actor's name? Are you looking this up or what?
I can't find it.
Shazam. Look up Shazam.
Yeah, I know. Shazam brings up like 10,000.
Go to IMDb. You know the page.
Zachary Levi.
Zach Levi. That's it. So him.
What was he in before?
He was in Chipmunks.
Was it like
the
Chuck?
Chipmunks? The Squeakle.
Oh,
wasn't Chuck too?
My chair is not squeaking anymore now. All of a sudden,
you're squeakless.
He was in Chuck, the TV show.
Yeah, Chuck. That's
Chuck. Right. Yep. But something else. I'm in a movie recently.
Tangled.
He did the voice of Tangled. Yep.
Oh, he was Tangled in the movie.
He was the prince.
He was the frog, the chameleon. No, I'm joking.
Zach Levi, I wasn't exactly sold on him to begin with, but seeing the Shazam trailer, I was really into it. What did you think of Godzilla?
I'm super excited.
Yeah?
Yes. King of Monsters.
I know. I'm excited to see Rodan.
We saw Mothra.
So Mothra, you saw Rodan, you saw King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Man, you guys know these names.
Yeah.
This is tripping
me out. Because we grew up with this shit.
I did too, but not like that.
This is like our livelihood.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, growing up, every year there was like a brand new Godzilla movie coming out of Tokyo.
Right.
And it was awesome.
My only issue is, I mean, they definitely went all out. Like, it's a blockbuster feel. Right. It's got the whole action. Like, I'm going to destroy the city. Like, we got all the monsters. It's cool. There's, like, seriously awesome cinematography looking, at least in the trailer. But as soon as they show Godzilla stand there, he's like a fat guy in a suit. And I can't get that out of my head.
Well,
it ruins it, man.
They made fun of the American Godzilla in Tokyo because they called Godzilla fat.
Yeah, he's chubby.
He's a little chunky in this one. I will say this though: the first Godzilla movie, first rebooted Godzilla movie, I felt, as a lot of people did, felt fooled by the trailers because the trailers looked very action packed. But we barely saw Godzilla in the movie. It wasn't a whole lot.
Oh, that was horrible.
It was an awful movie.
Yeah, every time they went to show,
he was only in it for like 10 minutes. It seemed, you know,
it was so bad.
And the rest of it is these Mitos, which there wasn't a whole lot of sound in some of the scenes, and blah blah blah. So anyway, I'm hoping that this one is not like that. There's a lot more action. It seems like we're going to get a lot more monster on monster action. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Rodan with the hurricane force winds blowing up the cities, and I want to see how benevolent Mothra is because you see Millie Bobby Brown petting the giant moth.
That was Mothra?
I
thought it was a giant sea turtle.
It looked like a turtle.
It looked like a turtle, but I believe that was before it mutated to the butterfly because you see how it spreads its wings in the trailer.
But Mothra's
that was like
a
more of its caterpillar. Mothra was a good guy.
Oh, really?
Mothra was always a good guy.
That's how it shows how much I was.
Yeah,
they don't have any sexual organs. Moths.
Thank you.
I'm glad I know that.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I take that back.
How do they reproduce?
They have sexual organs. They don't have any mouths.
How do they eat?
They don't eat. They live to have sex and then they die.
Really?
Yeah. Once they turn,
I think we need to Wikipedia.
Once they turn into a moth, they're just like sexual organs and no mouth, and they don't bite. Like moths don't bite anything.
Yeah.
Moths just like screw and die.
I think we're gonna have to research this. So,
But
anyway,
at one point they have to eat. Because what if the parent doesn't eat and the child doesn't eat and the child's offspring doesn't eat? Then no one's eating. And how do they reproduce?
They have sex and then they have the babies.
I know,
and that's
but where's
it.
the energy
they
coming
die.
from?
That's it. What energy?
I don't think this is going to be in the movie.
From the cocoon.
I don't think this is going to be touched on.
Everything is going to be explained in the film.
Yeah, we'll see.
Everything will be explained.
So, but I'm excited to see that. Will there be a Mecha Godzilla? Maybe in the third one.
Now, Millie Bobby Brown's character, she seems just like 11 in the trailer.
Oh yeah,
without the psychic powers.
She's playing like an 11 character.
Without the psychic powers.
Yeah, she barely speaks, and when she does speak, it's like
and she's like the same age as the first season of Stranger Things, so they must have shot it then. I heard they did shoot like 4 years ago or something.
Well, I'm excited for Godzilla. That might be my favorite trailer coming out of Comic-Con.
How about Robocop with
we still have. We'll get to the Robocop, but there was one more Aquaman. What about Aquaman?
I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I thought that the only thing I cared about was how they were going to do the effects underwater. You know, how they were going to make it like look
them
like
talk and everything.
Just how they were going to be underwater.
Right.
I thought it looked really awesome. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that.
They're not going to do that.
Like, I'm glad they didn't have like bubbles coming out of their mouths and stuff because they're not supposed to be talking underwater.
Yeah.
So
I think it looks ridiculous. I'm not sold.
I like the dry for wet feel, like just the floatiness of it. It's cool.
All I can go back to is
but I don't know if it's going to be it.
Entourage, the HBO show Entourage, where they were basically made fun of Aquaman, and the main character, Vincent Chase, got the role of Aquaman in that show, and it was like kind of almost like a joke, I felt. So I kind of feel like that too. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not particularly excited about Aquaman.
I'd rather watch a Hawkeye movie.
I'm not. It's not that bad. I don't think it's that bad. No. Like, I think it's at least upbeat, but it's of the DCU movies on the bottom tier. It's the Hawkeye of the DCU.
Yeah. I think this one it'll probably do better than Justice League. The Justice League was an awful movie.
That movie was terrible.
But I think that this one is going to make more money at the box office. I feel like Aquaman will make more money at the box office.
I don't know.
And I think it'll be more of a draw. But I'm not particularly thrilled about it.
I don't know. They could just had the evil Superman scene in Justice League. I'd have been happy. Like just the scene,
the Superman 3 scene.
Just the scene where he like looked over at the Flash. I was cool with that. Like, that was the cool part. Everything else sucked.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our thoughts on it. So Godzilla, I think the consensus is Godzilla looks like the winner.
It could be a fun one.
I think it looks fun.
Yeah, you're more excited about Shazam.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, because Godzilla to me, I can't get that fat guy out of the suit out of my head. Yeah. So you can dress him up, but he ain't going to dinner.
My hopes for Godzilla are pretty high in King of Monsters. So,
all right,
so let's get to RoboCop.
So old Neil, again, I'm not a fan of this either, but you guys go ahead. I'll let you take it.
What's that with RoboCop?
Yeah, Blomkamp.
Neil Blomkamp.
Look,
I'm
a fan of him.
Yeah,
but not RoboCop.
I am sold. Oh, really?
Not even the original RoboCop.
The very first one, yes.
Sure.
But no, the remake spoiled me.
Oh, the remake was awful.
It was so bad.
We're not talking about that.
And the third one, when he had wings.
Oh, the third one was dull. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed part 2. I saw that in the theater twice.
Sure.
Part 2 was good.
Kane.
No, that was awesome. Actually, part 2 I think was better than the first one.
Between the robots was great.
Yeah, it was great.
But I am excited. I think Neil Blomkamp will do this one justice. Definitely more so than the last one.
Sure.
Where it just looked like, listen, RoboCop's the guy in a suit, but the last one really looked just like a guy wearing a suit.
Yeah.
So it didn't have Peter Weller, didn't have the great choreography moving around like the originals. But Neil Blomkamp, the effects are going to be great.
Yeah. Well, he's gritty in his storyline.
Yeah,
so.
the effects are going to be there. The guy does great with the effects. Will it have the same satire? This is my question to you guys.
I don't think so.
Do you think it's going to have the same level of satire?
I don't think Blomkamp is too dark and gritty to have satire.
He stretches his themes out, too.
He has a lot of humanity. I mean, if you watch Chappie...
Yeah. Chappie's awesome.
There's a lot of humanity within Chappie.
Bro,
I love Chappie.
I think Chappie was a 90-minute commercial for Diantford. for the band.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, all I think it was.
Well, I did watch a lot of the Ant-Word videos after that, watching them.
And I think it was just a 90-minute push for that band, and this is what it felt like to me anyway.
But I love Chappie.
I enjoyed the Chappie.
Go watch Chappie if you haven't seen Chappie. Decide for yourselves, but
stick with District 9.
District 9's good too.
District 9 is great.
Have you
Still
guys
deserves a sequel.
Have you guys seen any of his?
Yeah, sex with the prawn.
That's it. He's a prawn. Have you guys seen any of his the YouTube channel stuff that Blomkamp did with
Amazing.
Oats Studios?
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen one or two of the projects that he's doing on there, and they were great. So I have a lot of hope that I think that he's going to do great with the effects. The violence is going to be there, and all that. I'm hoping that there's going to be a level of satire that there was in the first RoboCop.
Moving on to Glass. Saying goodbye to RoboCop.
Glass. Shoot the glass.
Glass, I think it speaks for itself. It looks sick.
I'm excited about it.
Who knew that we would be so excited for
M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan in this day and age?
Yeah.
Like, I had...
Do you trust him with this movie?
No.
And why not?
Why?
It's been like a wild grab bag. His first movie was amazing, right? Okay, so
he was riding that high for a while.
Well, we didn't know. All we knew is this was a first-time director. He made an amazing movie. So then he makes another movie, which was
Unbreakable.
Pretty good.
It was awesome.
It was good, but it was kind of a bomb.
It was kind of a bomb because everybody was expecting
I See Debbie.
Another Sixth Sense twist.
Yes. They had The Village, which was, again,
that was horrible.
Mixed bag. You never know.
I wanted to like it. And if it had stayed in that, 17th, 18th century time period that it was pushing you to believe, and not gone to modern day, spoiler alert, then...
if you're spoiling that, you got
right.
issues, man.
Spoilers everywhere.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it pretty much up until that point.
I never even made it to the end.
And then you had The Happening.
Then I just spoiled it.
Happening had amazing trailers.
It had a good
amazing
premise.
Trailers. So exciting.
Listen, when the wind is your main antagonist, then you got problems.
You got problems.
Well,
and then The Airbender came along.
That was a disaster.
And that was the nail on the coffin.
Yeah, that sealed.
That's when everybody bailed on him. So then a couple years passed, and he didn't direct, but he wrote a movie called Devil,
right?
Which takes place in an elevator.
Right. He pretty much just produced for a while, didn't he?
Oh, he wrote that movie?
Yeah, not a big deal. Nobody really cared. Not very exciting.
Right.
But then something about Split, I don't know if it was Jane McAvoy's amazing performance.
That helped.
And then you had that amazing ending where you realize, holy shit, this is actually a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I want more of this.
That was a total...
I want more of this. He totally Sixth Sensed us at that point. I want more of this.
He did.
So Glass is coming up, and look, Glass is primed for success because it's riding on the coattails of Unbreakable and Split. Now, I think I understand M. Night Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan is not going to make a movie unless he thinks he can mindfuck us. Okay?
Oh, there's going to be some mindfuckery for sure.
So, what is the level of mindfucking? That's what I wonder. That's what I'm trying to understand. Is it going to be the level of mindfucking where it's going to be like, oh my God, you got me again, M. Night.
Right.
And I think that will make the movie a success.
I don't think it's perfect. I think the best you can hope for with this is going to be an Unbreakable level of that. Okay. Which it was, he really is a superhero. He really is that guy, where you didn't quite get that. I don't think you get a huge, crazy plot twist like you did at the end of Split or you did at the end of Sixth Sense.
Look, it's called Glass, and the dude is like super smart. Some crazy stuff's going to go down at the end where you're going to be like, what? Because it's going to involve all three movies. They're going to come to a head in a master. What was that? The cartoon, the robot chicken thing.
What the twist?
What the twist? Yes, for 3.
What
It'll
a
be
twist.
What the twist times 3.
So, but here's what I'm thinking about. Okay. We understand how this guy thinks. We understand how he works.
Do we? Do we really?
Are we going to be watching this whole movie? It's going to be difficult to watch a movie.
You're going to be anticipating.
Thinking about where's the twist?
Yeah.
What's the twist going to be?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a very challenging movie to watch. It's a very hard movie to sell, understanding that concept.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's a hard movie to sell because people have already bought into it.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited for it. I have to say, Split was pretty much an okay movie for me until the ending of it, and then it was like another level.
What a twist!
I thought you
were going to shit on the ending. I was like, the ending was awesome.
No, that was the best part for me. Other than that, I think if that did not happen, then we probably wouldn't be as excited.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody would be excited. I don't think that the Glass would be happening if it wasn't for that twist, obviously.
Look, it's going to be good. I have good hopes for it. I'm not putting too much. I've learned something in the last few years, and that's don't put too many eggs into the hopes of a movie. Like, just roll with it,
right.
you know.
Don't put it. Let's not put any eggs in anywhere.
No eggs. No eggs.
Sometimes you need to put eggs in something to
Are you like Guy Fieri now? You don't like eggs?
Well, I love eggs. I mean, I have eggs for breakfast all the time. But like, if you put eggs into other things where they don't belong, then people get upset.
Or salmonella poisoning. Okay, so let's talk about
5.
Indiana Jones 5. Okay, Harrison Ford. Well, first of all, it's getting pushed to 2021. Its release date,
dude. But is he going to get shot like now, or are they going to shoot it in 2020?
Because that's its release date. Harrison Ford will be 79 years old when it's released. Are you guys excited for the inevitable wheelchair chase?
No. I don't understand how this can possibly be a good movie. I just can't.
It can't be any worse than Crystal Skull.
No, I mean, but that's the problem. But that's the problem. Like you can't. That was bad enough.
That was bad.
Don't continue the legacy of madness. Like, why don't we just put Jar Jar Binks in the movie with him, and then we can call it a day?
That would be good.
It would be better.
If Crystal Skull had been the movie that they hoped it would have been, and that would have been the send off for Indiana, if they had thought. We wouldn't be seeing this movie.
The send off.
This is their like, we need to make up for Crystal Skull.
The send off for Indiana Jones, man, was riding off in the sunset with his father and all the freaking awesome people, and not knowing if he's going to live forever or not.
Right.
That was the send off.
Well, I think the fact that it's happened so many years later after the Crystal Skull is them hoping people will forget the Crystal Skull.
Well, I'm trying to, it's like a trauma. Try and forget it. You don't want to remember it.
It's 10 years, so there's a whole generation.
As long as there's no
Shia
has swinging through the trees with monkeys. I'm okay.
Shia's care's been destroyed since then.
That's what
he's
I'm saying.
Right?
Shia was a very weird character. Then since then,
he's been working steady.
He's transformed himself some sort of art, individual art piece.
Yeah.
That if
he's coming back to the mainstream a little bit though.
If Shia was in this movie, I'd actually be excited about it.
Really?
Now, yes.
No, I would not. I don't want to see Mutt.
No.
I don't want to see Mutt Williams.
Well, unless he's with Bumblebee. All right, now straight into the Fox.
And now then that brings us to the Fox merger, which is, hey, Disney is a monopoly.
Think? I mean, that 60% this year they've got 60% of all box office already, and it's not even over.
But the thing is that they are such Nazis with the theater companies that they're telling the theater companies what to do about stuff.
Well,
that is really the danger. That to me is the only danger.
They're not the only one though, because this Mission Impossible movie, and I'm sorry to step up, this Mission Impossible movie was only showing in certain theaters around here. Other theaters that we usually go to see, it's not playing there.
That's correct. Like, that was really weird. That Mission Impossible.
That's not a Disney thing.
Well, that's like a limited release for that movie, right? I mean, if they're not in all that's a blockbuster movie. It's not like you would expect that to.
So they have deals with the Cinemarks and the AMCs, but not with other.
But give it time.
You're really not losing anything on that. I mean, you're still able to see the movie. Mm-hmm. But when you tell a movie theater, hey, listen, the only way we can show our movies if you have them in this many theaters for this amount of time, that's a way different situation. Right. You are pretty much commanding everybody who owns a theater to do things the way you want them to be. And if you don't do it exactly the way we tell you, then you will never have any of our movies again.
Right.
Which means you will not make any money again because all our movies are the shit that everybody wants to see.
Right.
Yeah.
So so
that's kind of where
we're
they're
over a barrel with that one.
You know. So if I had to make a prediction, I would say this feels a lot like what Hollywood was doing back in the day in the 1950s when you only had
free agents.
You only had like a few like big motion picture companies because back in from the 1920s to the 1950s, the only people that could make movies are people that were like really rich and could afford studios and warehouses and actors and all this other stuff. And the studios controlled all the actors and they controlled everything. Shortly after that came the 70s. In the 70s is when you had like really interesting movies like Platoon and
that was 80s.
Clockwork Orange,
Dog Day Afternoon.
Dog Day Afternoon, and you had like these really cool movies of like these brand new, really awesome directors being auteurs and saying, you know what, screw the studio system, let's make these really awesome movies with these awesome stories. So honestly, if Disney says we're going to take over the whole market, right now, I'm cool with it because I know that 5 to 10 years from now, we're going to see some amazing movies coming out of some very independent directors.
And, and a lot of those movies and Netflix is trying to be the counter to what Disney is doing, I believe.
Maybe.
They're doing smaller movies. Not so much. I mean, they're spending billions of dollars, more than other studios combined.
Well, Netflix is buying movies. They're not making movies.
They're making some.
They seem to like go to the film festivals and they say, "Oh, we like this movie."
Yeah, they do.
The one with the big hippopotamus that.
Yeah.
What was that
I know
called?
what you call it. Oka.
Yeah, yes, that one. They bought that movie. They didn't make that movie.
Right.
So I think that as long as there are creative directors out there, we'll have like a lot of interesting talent. It's just a matter of who's going to buy those movies so the average American can go see them.
Well, the issue I think is Netflix is toast.
Really?
This deal is not about movies.
They spend more money, make more money than all the other studios combined.
That's only based on their stock ratings, not based on their size as a company.
Okay.
And besides the fact they just can't compete with what Disney has now. Disney has all the properties, including a series portion of Netflix's main properties is Disney. Well, so like when they start, they're going to rebrand Hulu, and then that's the whole. They spent $73 billion to get Hulu. That's all they wanted.
That's a lot of money.
They wanted Hulu. That's it. They wanted Hulu, and they wanted the Fox properties to populate Hulu.
Right.
And they're going to let. And by the way, Fox has one of the most successful independent studios. Fox Searchlight, which is winning awards left, right, and center. They just took the best picture this year.
Right.
So now that's Disney's. So as far as like independence, Disney even owns that now. I think they're going to let them run roughshod on their own, but they just wanted Hulu, and eventually, and I don't want to cut you off, but eventually, Netflix is going to run out of opportunities to compete, and that's when that happens. Disney's going to take their properties back. They're going to take all their movies off of Netflix. That's
going to happen eventually.
Not Coco. Don't take Coco.
No, but all the Fox movies too. They're going to take them off of Netflix. Their licensing is going to go down, and then they're going to.
That's why they're trying to crank out their own stuff now.
But they just can't compete with the powerhouse like Disney, Pixar, Fox. Lucas, Marvel.
Those are all owned by Disney now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's Disney. So you can't. Yeah. And now they're going to have the biggest streaming service in the entire network.
Yet another one to shell out some few bucks to.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the only one.
All you need is somebody to come up with another Breaking Bad or another Handmaid's Tale.
And Disney will buy them.
And, no, but I mean...
They'll need acquisitions.
That's what you need. If Disney buys it, then it's theirs.
But Netflix is signing all this great talent.
They are. I love Netflix.
To do their own thing.
They're edgy. They're out there.
I think it's gonna come down to Disney versus Netflix.
Sure.
But I'm just excited to see what Disney and Marvel do with the X-Men franchise.
That's what everybody cares about.
You're hearing rumors about them canceling the 2 X-Men movies coming up.
New Mutants and Dark Phoenix.
I don't know how true that really is because those things were already
everybody
can.
Yeah, everybody reported 2 days ago that those two movies were canceled, even though most of them were finished.
Right.
Like, I didn't think New
There were
Mutants.
reshoots.
Yeah, but
I
they
don't know
were
where,
done. Like,
yeah,
pretty
who
much.
knows what status New Mutants was in.
But if I was Kevin Feige, I wouldn't want them to release those movies. I would want to. He already knows he's
complicate things to try and integrate them into the Marvel universe.
Doesn't make sense. Just stop it and just start.
But I can't see them just totally abandoning these movies that already spent a couple $100 million.
But to Disney, that's it's an acceptable loss because they're going to lose. They're going to lose like what a couple $100 million, but they're going to gain so much more by revamping those characters into the Marvel MCU. So I mean,
so that remains to be seen. So
yeah.
All right. Well,
so our last.
What's our miscasting of the week? This is our new feature. Brand new intro.
Our new feature
in our new
for
show.
Our new show.
Right. Introductory feature.
Miscast of the week.
The miscast of the week.
Who did Hollywood miscast? Because they do that quite often.
Well, we talked about Tom Holland and Uncharted already, but that's not our miscasting.
No. Uncharted, I would say.
It's already...
But I'm going to say, because we got it down here in the notes, is Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
Who is that?
Is
I don't know.
Cast as Paul Atreides in Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of Dune that is coming out.
That's a lot of syllables.
That is a lot. That was. Aren't you glad that
a
I
lot
said
of mispronunciations.
Yeah, I don't know if I got them all right. Timothy Chalamet. I think it's Chalamet.
The dude he's too frail and weird looking to play like the Messiah of Dune.
To me, it's a Tom Holland thing. He seems way too young to be playing this character. I don't know. I never read the books.
He's like Mo Hadib. He's like this like Messiah, like super power. He like controls the universe, and this I can't see it.
So I'm excited for Dune because Denis Villeneuve has not done this wrong with Prisoners. With
I've not seen him.
Oh, fantastic movie!
Yes,
I'm out of the loop
with Blade Runner and so on.
Amazing.
I mean, and Sicario, man. The guy is not disappointed yet, so I have high hopes for Dune. But right now, it feels like this Timothy Chalamet, as good of an actor as he is, feels miscast.
Yes. Dude, doesn't feel miscast. He is miscast. I don't know how they're going to fix that crap. It depends on how they make the movie. I mean, because Dune's a crazy story.
I have faith in the guy, in the director. His movies, Blade Runner didn't do well at the box office, but man,
it's an amazing film.
It was the best movie. One of the best movies last year.
Unbelievable.
You know who should have been cast? The guy from Girls.
Who's the guy from Girls?
Are you talking about Adam Driver?
Adam Driver.
Oh,
Adam Driver and everything.
Really?
Yeah, he's in the new KKK movie.
Black Klansman. Yeah.
Black Klansman. I think he's gonna kill it. Adam Driver is the only actor that anybody really gives a shit about.
He's definitely intense when he wants to be.
Don Quixote movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's not out yet.
Jim Jarmusch is doing another movie. He did Patterson with Adam Driver. He's going to do another movie with Adam Driver.
In the zombie movie that Jim Jarmusch has
that's right.
out?
So, and which not
Where
Kevin
are all
Spacey.
these movies?
They're on the internet. If you go over here to like internet.com, you're gonna see it.
Internet.com.
I thought it was intercom.com.
Just go to internet.com.
I'm actually going to go to internet.com. What
that are happening right now. And you can be part of our knowledge base right here.
So that's it. So Timothy Chalamet is our miscasting of the week.
Right.
JJ has spoken.
So that's our miscast of the week, and that there is the end of our show. That's the end of our news program.
Rambling newscast.
Go home, guys. There's no need. Don't sit in the theater anymore.
Get out of here.
Like Ferris Bueller after credits.
Yeah.
You guys are still
get out of here.
Go home.
Before they go, though, how about you give us a subscribe, a like, a dislike, whatever you feel is appropriate.
No dislikes. What are you talking about?
They're kind of cool.
I prefer a like.
I screwed up a little bit in this episode.
You can dislike him.
Dislike him. All right.
Just put like a negative thing and put JJ next to it.
.. JJ. #ring the bell so you can get notified for any future videos we put out.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're going to start a Patreon. I know that's kind of stupid to say now because we don't have really an audience.
It's not stupid.
But it will be cool, and a good portion of our proceeds are going to go to a good place. And I will turn it over to Greg to tell you what that's about.
We're gonna something very near and dear to us. Some of us have been affected by it personally. Some of us have been affected. Our loved ones have been affected by it. But eventually, we'll start this Patreon, and a portion of the proceeds will go towards cancer research. not cancer awareness, you're already aware of it. We want to contribute to cancer research. And that's really it. So look out for that. They'll be coming up very soon. And that's really it, guys.
Yeah, that's it. All right, we'll see you next week when hopefully we get a little bit better at this stuff.
Yeah.
Until then, peace.
Goodbye.
Can you do like the eyebrow raise with both eyebrows?
I don't think I can even do one. I can do both at the same time.
I can do my right one, but I can't the left one.
That's for a different occasion, yeah.
Not quite as charming.
Like you really pissed me off whenever.